Hi everybody, Matthew Stubblefield here with a behind the scenes for Fieldway. In today's video, I want to share my publication tooling. So I've been building this for about a month now with the goal of letting myself focus on content, and then I can drop it someplace and the AI picks it all up to handle publication. So in this video, I'm going to focus on the written content, and then I'll have a separate one for video that I'll also be dropping. So what we're looking at right now is my Paperclip dashboard. You actually can see it working through some content right now. These are a couple of different newsletters. I've got one series for Fieldway, the fieldway.org blog that is being worked on with the editorial calendar. And then I've got a newsletter for the Step Zero blog that I wrote this morning and that it's currently working through, titled Tools Are Not Enough. And you can see here, I've got some different departments or projects, and then my different agents on the left here. If I drop down to my org chart, you can say I organize this under a chief of operations, and then a director of marketing. And so marketing is where all of the work related to publication is going to be happening. I put all of that under marketing. So in the org chart, I draft my work into Obsidian, and then I create an issue for my director of marketing to tell them about it. And I say, hey, here's my draft. I am writing by voice dictation. So I'm using WhisperFlow, and so it's kind of a ramble. And I'll throw some references in there, some articles that I've read, some things that I'm thinking about. And then I will talk, and I'll usually have between 1,000 and 2,000 words of me talking. And usually I'll also say, I think we want to research this a little bit more. Like I've got some thoughts, but I want some more depth in that. So the director of marketing is going to pick that up. They're going to create a research task for supporting research, which is going to be doing some deep research to pull in some quotes, some other sources and whatnot. It's going to take those in and pass my original content plus my ramble to my blog writer. Blog writer is going to use a variety of skills that I built with Claude, including one called Write Like Matthew. This is a Claude Code skill that I've been building for over 6 months with a lot of different inputs to it, a lot of different training and iteration over time. And so that's going to do some revision. And then once it is done writing, it's going to pass it over to the copy editor, which is going to be working through that copy to improve it and also to bring in some input from the SEO strategist, because I want these blogs to both teach people and provide value, but I also want them to bring people to my site. They got to be discoverable. I have built my entire newsletter and blog pipeline using Claude Code. It's publishing onto a vibe-coded website and through my mailing system, all of which I built. And that means it's less discoverable than if I was publishing somewhere like Substack or Beehive. So I want to make sure that I'm at least giving some thought to SEO. And so the SEO strategist does a search every week and puts together kind of a strategy for the week. And then the copy editor is going to call that to inform some of its word choice. And then once everything is ready, it's going to give that to a publisher. And the publisher is going to be the one to put it on the blog. It's also going to call a social writer. So once the copy is all done, the social writer is going to write LinkedIn and Facebook posts, and it writes those into the same Obsidian doc, because I built all this on top of Obsidian. So I've got that markdown that I can read for everything, and I can review and approve it. So copy editor gives that final copy to the social writer. And then we end up with an Obsidian doc that has the newsletter copy, the changes that are needed to turn it into a blog post, because you don't need a greeting for somebody, you don't need a signature, and the LinkedIn and the Facebook copy. So all that goes into Obsidian, hands it to the publisher. The publisher is going to do the blog post first, and then after the blog post is live, it's going to send the newsletter, which will include a link back to the blog post, and then it's going to publish to LinkedIn and Facebook. All of this is going through an editorial calendar that is in Obsidian. So the editorial calendar is here, and you can see, for instance, this one is going to start June 8th. So every morning, my director of marketing does research and finds articles that seem particularly interesting and relevant. And then we build out the newsletters and blog posts, and then it plans out when they're going to go live. Gets the input from the SEO strategist, thinks through the topics, ranks them, and then builds this editorial calendar. And so this then becomes input for the blogs and newsletters that we write, and then is going to send them out on a cadence. I'm trying to publish every 18 hours so that LinkedIn is always getting some fresh content. And so that's what this helps us do and helps us keep it straight. But when I come to it with something new that I want to go out sooner, I just tell my director of marketing, hey, I want this to go out, on this particular day, and it's going to shift things in the editorial calendar, get it all queued up and scheduled. Publisher will push everything out. So the benefit here is I can just focus on the content, and then Claude effectively picks it up from there. But I'm running these through Paperclip, which also means I can substitute in different tools if I want. You can see these are all using Claude Code right now, but I could swap that out if I need to. So that's how I'm publishing things. My original intent, I built something called Fieldway Social. So under the hood, these agents are actually calling a local program called Fieldway Social that is doing a lot of this stuff. That way it's not purely AI driven, because that would consume a lot of tokens and it would cost me more money. But instead, these are calling different skills and different programs that are mostly in Python that I've written to actually do like the publishing and whatnot. So this publisher agent is just calling Fieldway Social and sending stuff out that way. So it's been working really well. I'm really pleased with how it's going so far, and look forward to doing more with this. But wanted to show you a little bit behind the scenes. Like I was saying, I wanted to release this kind of open source so other people could use this. They could fork Fieldway Social, they could customize it for themselves. But I've got it so tightly integrated with my websites now and everything else that I'm doing that I don't think that I can really do that. So my intent was to release this publishing software open source. I've got a local program written using Claude Code called Fieldway Social that is handling all of the uh, doing some of the research and analysis, but also writing metatitles and descriptions that are good SEO, and helping come up with titles, and it's what's actually pushing to my blog and my newsletters and LinkedIn and Facebook and YouTube even. And so I wanted to release that because I was working to move off of the web platform that I was on, and it was handling newsletters and social media for me. And I thought I can cut that subscription cost, and then I can help other people cut the subscription cost by releasing this open source. The problem is that as I built this, I'm finding I'm integrating it so deeply with my websites, which are also vibe coded, and with my other tools that not only do I not think I could pick it apart very easily, but I think it would provide a lot less value. Like the reason it's providing so much value to me is because Fieldway Social is aware of all of these other programs that I built, and because my AI agents, which exist kind of separately, are able to call it and use it, which then reduces token costs because they're using a locally run program instead of just using AI for everything. But it's not something that I can release very easily. So my hope was, by creating a video to kind of walk you through what I've built and how I'm using it and kind of the order of operations, it gives you some ideas that you can use to drive your own building. For me, the motivation was take all of those manual steps and actions of write into Obsidian, but then copy and paste into a newsletter and copy and paste into a blog, and then generate descriptions and titles and copy and paste that into LinkedIn and Facebook. Take all that publishing work and automate that so I can just focus on the content. I put it in one place and it goes from there. And if that's something you're interested in, hopefully this gives you some ideas that you can take to Claude or your tool of choice and build your tool set to help accelerate your work. So let me know if you have any questions or comments, any ideas or things that you'd like to learn more about, and happy to chat with you about it or happy to make more videos for you. Have a great day.